Alrighty then. I'm going to, this is part 2 of my loomed hat, and I have it long enough now that I can finish it, take it off. Now I'm going to show you how I take it off of the loom. This turned out so soft. It's so soft and so pretty. And so I'm going to take it off the loom. I'm going to show you how I do that. See how I hold it here. Okay, yes. Now, so I did the knitting stitches until I got it as long as I wanted. And so now what I want to do is, okay, I'm going to take it off the loop. I'm going to put one more row. I'm going to put one more row of knit stitches on. So I'm doing the E-wraps all the way around. And so I'm going to put one more row. And then I'm going to take it off of the loom. And so you'll see how I'm doing that. And yes. Okay, there, I have that all E-wrapped all the way around. And so then I'm going to knit them all off, knit all them stitches off by taking that bottom loop and knitting them over the top loop and over the peg. Take that bottom loop over the top loop and off the peg like that. Okay, so right now I'm just knitting off that last row, although the whole thing, I'm not knitting them off the, I'm not knitting off the, I'm not knitting them off of the loom yet, but I'm going to do that just as soon as I get this last row, as soon as I get this last row knitted. This is really, I mean, you know, this is really something, and this is calming. It's calming, it's soothing, it's restful. This is just something. And like you say, if you say, well, I don't need any hats, so I don't want to do that, well, you know that you can donate hats. So many places to donate hats. And like I said, mine are going to homeless. I find different places that deal with homeless, and they can pass them out. You can also, a lot of cancer centers like to have hats for cancer patients, and so that's another place that you can donate hats. And so, I mean, there is so many places, you know, you can just call and find out if they need hats. Okay, now, there we go. We got that. Now I'm going to start finishing this off, so to get ready to take it off of the, doesn't that look like a swirl down into the tunnel? Okay, what I'm going to do now is, now I'm going to take this loop. Okay, I'm going to start with my last loop and go to my first loop. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter where you start it, because you're, well, I'll just pick a place. I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna take this loop, the one loop that's on the hook on the post. I'm gonna take that loop off of there, and I'm gonna stretch it. Always, for some reason, that first one is hard. I'm gonna stretch it over and put it on the peg next to it. What I'm doing is I'm decreasing this. I just stretched that one. I just picked one and I stretched it over and I put it on the next loop. Now I'm going to knit that. Take that bottom and go over. All right, leave that one alone. Now go to the next one here, take that one, bring it over, put it onto the next peg, and then knit that one. There you go. Okay, leave that one alone. Now we're going to do this all the way around. Okay, there you go. Just take it off. There you go, and knit. And the next one, snatch it off, holding it to the hook. I hold it on with my finger so it doesn't slip off. And then knit it, knit it, knit it. Leave that one alone. Go to the next one. Pull it off of the peg. Put it on the next peg. And then knit. Okay. And go to the next one. I'm going to do this on all the way around. Put it on that peg. Grab that one that was already on the peg and knit it over. And now we're to the next one. And see, we're decreasing all the way around. Now, this is something too that you don't really have to do the decrease. You don't really have to do that. You could just end it without doing the decrease. It would just make the top of your hat a little bit more clumpier. Okay, so we just did that one, so we'll do the next one. And we go over here, put it on the next peg, take that original one there, grab a hold of that and knit it. Just put it over the peg. So then, see, you're just left with that one. Okay, you're done with that one, so then we'll get this one and we'll knit it over, pull it over to the next peg. Take that one that was already there and put it over, leaving just that one. Okay, so this is the new one. Bring that over. Now grab the loop below. I hope you can see. And then knit that over. Now the next one, we'll do the same thing. Knit it over. Now we go to the next one. See, when you just knit it over, now you're going to leave that one alone and go to the next one. Oops, I didn't get that on there. There we go. And then knit that over. That one's done, so we'll go to the next one. I'm going to do this all the way around. Use your fingers if you need to help the thread go where it's supposed to be, or the yarn. And we'll just knit that one. Okay, and that one's done, so we'll go to this one. Pull that off that peg and put it on its neighbor. Neighbors need to get along with each other. And there we go. And then knit that one. Every time you do that, you're doing a knit stitch. Okay, that one's done, so we'll go here to the next one. Pull it over. Get it on there. And I'm using 2 strands of yarn in the whole process, so I'm careful to make sure when I pick up, I get both of those strands. There we go. And then we got okay, the next one. Bring it over. There we go. And I made sure my yarn, my working yarn, is not getting tangled up in here. That's where my working yarn actually is, right there. So I'll let that be there. Okay, then I left that one there. And I'm going to go here. because see, I started doing this decrease and somewhere on the loom. I didn't do it right at the beginning, and because that part doesn't really matter where you start and finish, just so long as you start and finish. Okay, and then we'll do that one over. Okay, we're almost to where we started, and then we take this one and knit that over. Okay, the next peg is empty, so we know that's where we started. Okay, so now we have decreased it all by half. And so now I'm going to cut the yarn. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go around my loom 1.5 times. That's 1 time and a half. And that's where I'm going to cut my yarn. I'm going to cut that yarn off there. Okay, so now I've got this long piece of yarn. And this long piece of yarn is going to, you need that to be able to, and you might not need to have it that long, but you need to have enough yarn to okay, Elizabeth is looking for her needle. Elizabeth can't find her needle. Elizabeth is still looking. Wait a minute. Elizabeth is going to look on the floor, see if it fell. Elizabeth doesn't see it. Elizabeth is getting a little upset that she cannot find her. I mean, it's big and long and orange. Oh, no, it's not. It's pink. Here it is. I thought it was orange. Okay, I have a yarn needle. And I'm going to put this yarn needle onto put the yarn, both of those strands, through the yarn needle. Now what I'm going to do, what Elizabeth is going to do, now each one, now I'm going to start right here at where the yarn is, and I'm going to go underneath, and with my needle, I'm going to go under the stitch and pull that through. Under the next stitch and pull it through. And I'm going to go all the way around just like that. Pull it through. Now, this yarn that I'm using to go through is actually going to be waste yarn. I mean, you're going to be cutting most of it off. And but what I do is I take those pieces of yarn, because I'm going to have, you know, at least a foot of yarn or longer left over after I cut it off. And then I make a whole ball of yarn. I keep tying them together. And so, and then I use all the waste yarn, all the scraps, and I make a really cute hat out of that. I made one for Papa. Papa has got a really cool hat that's made with so many different yarns. But see how my waist yarn is getting shorter, because I'm going to go all the way around. And it's better to have a little bit too much than not enough of your yarn. See how it's getting, my piece is getting shorter now. And now to the last one, or to the one where I started, and I'll put that through there. Okay, now I've got that yarn is all the way through every one, all the way around. So now I'm going to take those and just take them off. Just go all the way around and take those off. Just completely off the loom now. Just, you're not knitting them or anything, you're just taking them off the loom. I'm not sure the right words and stuff to tell you how to do a tutorial, but I just show you how I'm doing it, and hopefully it makes sense. A lot of times, if you're watching a video to learn to do something, you can watch one person do it, and you can kind of get the idea, and then go find another person showing the same thing, and put them two knowledges together, and you get it. Sometimes that, Okay, now my loom is finished. My loom is empty. So now there is my hat, and that extra yarn you just pulled through is is on there. So now you will pull that. You'll pull that yarn, and what you see is you're gathering the whole top of the hat is coming together. Okay, the whole top of the hat. Now, see, there you go. That's the top of the hat right there. So then now I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to poke it right down the center into the inside of that hat. And you could just tie it off right there, knot it up and tie it off. But I go to make sure that that's going to be in there and tucked in there good. I'm going to take my needle now and just kind of go through some of those. Just stay in there a little bit, you know, and I'm just going to go through some of those stitches, and pull them. Getting this one mixed there, and pull that. Just pull them tight. And then if you want to, on the top of your hat, you could make a pom-pom on the top or something to make it a little bit more fancy schmancy. Sometimes I put a pom-pom on a few of the hats, so I have, you know, the people that get the hats and have something to dig through. There, now I'm going to take that, that's good and tight up there. I'm going to take that and I'm going to cut it down here a little ways. And then what I do is I take, because I use 2 strands, just for good measure, I will pull that, one of those 2 strands, you know what, I'll use my crochet hook, pull one of those strands through through there, one through somewhere else, and then take those 2 strands and tie them in a good tight knot. Get a good square knot or 2, and then just nice and tight. And then go ahead and clip off the little end that you don't need. That hat now is finished. There, the hat it's pulled tight at the top, and this really turned out soft with isn't that pretty how the colors actually almost made like a swirl around. I like how that did. That is a pretty hat, and it's so soft. This here yarn, that yarn that I used, oh my gosh, it is just so soft. I think I might have enough still on here to do another one just like this. There's enough yellow. Well, the yellow, there might be enough yellow on there to go before it goes to the pink rose color, because this yarn was the self-striping, and so if you were making a blanket out of this cake of yarn, it would come out to different stripes, each one of those, you know. And so, but see, this one turned out that it only took the yellow off, and there's enough yellow on there. I think that would make one almost exactly like this before it turned into the pink. But because there's pink on here too, on this yarn, it would be nice. Isn't that pretty? That is just so pretty. And so that's all that's going to be on this video, is to show you how I took it off of there. Let's see. Take a look at me. That's me. Oh, that's nice. See that? That's nice. I'm a model. I could be a model. Could be a model. My hat. That's my hat. Fix my hair. There. So that's it. That's what I wanted to show you, was how to finish that. So this is a quick video. Oh, I love my hats. I just love making these. And then I love it when I get a big old bag full and I'm able to donate them. It's just one of those feel good things. Okay. Oops, I dropped my clipboard in the floor. And now I'm going to go and read, because we're now on to, in this book that I'm reading out of Helen Steiner Rice's book called Lovingly, Poems for All Seasons. And I had just finished up reading all the poems that were written for Mother's Day. And so now I'm reading the next ones in the book are for Memorial Day, because now Memorial Day is coming up on the 30th of May. And I gotta think, what month is it? When you're retired and you don't do anything, you have no alarm clock. Kind of forget what month it is, what day it is, what day of the week. Oh, the calendar doesn't do you no good because you don't know if you have it on the right month. This aging things, I gotta write a book. Okay, this poem that I'm going to read now is called God Bless America. First, Elizabeth has to get her glasses, her snazzy new glasses. Clears things right up. Okay, this one is called God Bless America. And for you all that are in another country, I know there's some from the UK, some in Australia. I got one lady in Sweden that watches. I'm just so blessed to have subscribers from all over the world. And I love learning about y'all's countries, of the differences in the customs in y'all's countries. I just find it just amazing to learn so many differences that there are. My uncle is fixing. My aunt and uncle are leaving soon to take another trip. They go everywhere, and they're now going over to Europe, and they're going to be able to see a lot of things in Europe. And I'm just so excited for them to be able to do this. Then when they come home, then I get to learn everything that they learned about these other countries. I mean, they're going to go to Scotland. I can't remember where every place that they said they're going, but I look forward to learning more and more and more about different places in our world, because our world is so small now. It is so small when you think about what all is out there outside of your own country. And since we have the internet, it just pulls us all together. It like knits us all tight together, and we're all one family. We are all one family. I mean, everything started at the beginning, and so we are all related in one way. But my uncle is 83 years old, and he still has the spirit of a 20-year-old. Him and his wife travel all over the country, all over the world. They travel, and they're going to be gone for a month on this. They always go with a tour group, and this one is going to be a month. And he listed all the different places they're going, but of course I don't remember. I do remember Scotland because I think, oh gosh, I'd love to go to Scotland. But anyway, I'm supposed to be reading God Bless America. Okay, America the beautiful, may it always stay that way. But to keep Old Glory flying, there's a price that we must pay. For everything worth having demands work and sacrifice, and freedom is a gift from God that commands the highest price. For all our wealth and progress are as worthless as can be, without the faith that made us great and kept our country free. Nor can our nation hope to live unto itself alone, for the problems of our neighbors must today become our own. Oh my God, it's so true. And while it's hard to understand the complexities of war, each one of us must realize that we are fighting for the principles of freedom and the decency of man. And as a Christian nation, we're committed to God's plan. And as the land of liberty and great God-fearing nation, we must protect our honor and fulfill our obligation. So, in these times of crisis, let us offer no resistance in giving help to those who need our strength and our assistance. And the stars and stripes forever will remain a symbol of a rich and mighty nation built on faith and truth and love. And like I said, this book was written in 1970. That's when this book was first published, in 1970. And so, and they talk about war, how much war since then. Because in 1970-ish, that was like, I think that was kind of the completing of coming to the end of the Vietnam crisis. And there's been so much war even since then. And our neighbors, like this talks about our neighbors, that we're all one family. We're all just one family. And oh my goodness, this Memorial Day is is a time to think about, really think about um, our neighbors and our neighbors, countries, the countries of our world. We're all family. We're all cousins. We're all aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters. We got so many moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas. They're all over the world. They're all over the world, and and to think about, things are still the same now today as they were when Helen Steiner Rice wrote that particular poem. And that reminds me of one of my people I watch, one of our one of our creative um, souls that we connect with is a gentleman that lives in the over in Russia and the Ukraine, in the Ukraine. And you may, if you look, if you search, if you don't have this man on your list of people who you watch, he goes by Mr. Victor Crafter. Mr. Victor Crafter. And when you look for him, his icon there is an eyeball. Mr. Victor Crafter. And bless his heart, he's right there in Ukraine, and he is still making videos right along, even with the war going on around him. And he's still making videos of his craftiness, and he's just, you can tell how loving this man is. He's very loving, he's very caring, he's just an amazing man. And but he does a lot of paper crafting, he does a lot in his crafting world. And that is how he is dealing right now with what's going on around him over there in the Ukraine. Mr. Victor Crafter, I think that's how you call his name. And but so just search him in the YouTube and you'll find him. You'll see a little eye in his icon. That's him. And when you think about that man over the Ukraine right now, which is dealing with war, it's like he's your brother. He's like he's your brother over there, and you concern yourself and send prayers, send healing vibes, send good vibes, vibes of comfort, prayers of comfort to and safety for all the people, not just in Ukraine but everywhere. And so that's, now I'll jump off of my soapbox or whatever the heck I'm standing on right now. I'm not usually standing, I'm usually sitting. But I ask God to watch over each and every one of you, everywhere, no matter where you are. Keep you safe, keep you happy. Every walk, every step you take, every move you make, realize that God is right there with you. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of God being right there with you. Whoever you proclaim God to be, God if it's a he, God if it's she, God if it's just God. God is God. God is with you. I mean, if you're alive, you're there. You're okay. I'm done. I'm just done. I could just get on with I get on a rant, or I don't know if it's a rant. It's not a rant. It's just a thoughts. My thoughts just keep pouring out. Okay. God bless you all. Keep you all safe and secure and happy and healthy and humble, and bring you back to the next video. And I'll see you then. God bless you. God bless you. Where's my mouse? There it is. Here's my mouse. God bless you.